Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Saturday with us. And Mr. C, hello. And special hello to JSpy. JSpy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Good to see you guys again.
Great to see you.
Good to
Um,
see you. Great to see you here, JSpy. And this is a before and after episode because before I'd only seen you through the screen, but now this is after that we met live in person, face to face. So forever demarcated the before and the after. And let me tell you, it was super cool to be in the same physical space as JSpy.
can I can I
Same
flip
here,
up
Mr. C.
can I flip up the photo op, and there you two both are in person. That's very nice.
You cropped out that it said Mars Cheese Castle. I was working so hard to get
Oh,
the
Yeah, to make sure
backwards
that was
mirror
in there.
image of the words Mars
oh,
Cheese
sorry,
Castle in the book.
sorry about that. All right, next time we'll restart this live stream. All right, my
That's so
apology.
good.
My apologies. So, hey, casual crafter, it's great to have you here, and Jim Campbell, yabba dabba dan dabba do. Uh, awesome.
Oh man, oh man.
All right, so again, here we are with JSpy, and I'm realizing, right moments ago, I was celebrating how ready we are, or were, or whatever, and I'm
Right,
noticing that the overall image that I had prepared for this thing, I had neglected to upload. So there you go. It has to be something, Mr. C.
right. Otherwise, we wouldn't be amateurs. Like if we're acting professionally
Yeah,
and
that's right.
hitting a professional stride, then we've crossed that threshold, which is against our mission statement, which is nowhere in writing
That's right.
whatsoever.
But a professional was ignored and kept on going, which we'll do anyway here. So, Mr. C, what are we doing today with Mr. J Spy?
Well, JSpy, I know last week we had on MIB, and he refers to his business as the museum. So would we say you were in your kitchen? Would we say you were in your mad scientist lab? Would we say you were in your station, in your workhouse? How would we refer to your creation environment?
I suppose based on today's topic, it would be the second one, the Mad Scientist Lab.
All right. So JSpy's been all in mad scientist in his mad scientist lab in the world of Mego, in the subcategory of Mego horror, and JSpy has delivered as he always does. Specifically, we're saying this man has put together some new 3D printed images, which are just fresh, just recently available on eBay, which led to JSpy and me for our first time face to face meetup because I wasn't trying to play with the mailing if something got stuck in the post office this way or the other. We weren't going to have an empty table without content here. We weren't going to have just a placeholder here. So, G, do you want to run some of the
Yeah, so
picks
let's
and JSpy can speak on what he's been up to?
sure. So, sounds great. So I'm going to experiment now. So let's see how this works. Okay, so we got this thing in front of our faces, but if I click on this, okay, it doesn't do anything else. All right, so let me yank JSpy over here to the side, and now I am off to the edges here. You can see
Yeah,
my
I see you.
eyeball.
Yeah.
All right, so JSpy, take us through the latest creations that you've created. You know what's great about the timing, and I'll take this off for a moment, is the if you are preparing a Halloween diorama or you're into a horror diorama, these the things that you've got to share with everybody today, I think works tremendously well, particularly for the Mego collector. So we've got the two horror related items queued up, and then we'll get into the I think the biggest item here. So maybe talk about this first set.
Sure. There's two sets available. Yeah, I don't remember which one this was, but obviously you can see by looking at it. Get the five candelabra, torch, and some holy water, and the mallet and stake, and the Bible. So all good for monster hunting, or if you are a monster, you probably wouldn't be carrying that one around. But
I think my favorite of your items here, JSpy, of all the items that you've got, and now you can again see my eyeball here looking at it virtually, but I like the combination of color that you've got with the candelabra as well as the torch. How you've got that translucent look to it. And so that makes the dioramas, I think, pop especially well. Um, and
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
the torch flame that's printed with translucent orange.
Nice.
So the light shines through there pretty well, helps it light it up. Looks kind of cool. And the candelabra, those.
Are these actually painted?
Yeah, I did. I have like paint markers, so I
Okay.
just used an orange one and did all the flames on them.
Very
on
nice.
all the sets too. Yeah.
Very nice. And because it kind of doesn't show as much on the wide shot, you can see the detail that's in each of these accessories. That you've got here. You can see the cross. You can see that it's not just something that we've talked about your work before, JSpy, that there are things that other creators could have done to cheat. It could have just been a rectangle, but no, you could see that here you've got the definition of that it is a book. That you've got the hardcover thing, and also the designs on the Bible itself. So that's really nice.
And the binder.
And yes,
another cross and a binder as well.
That's right. You can see that, and there is also a nice wood grain. Oh, now we can go. All right. So how should we do this, Mr. C? We also could see in the pictures that you've got on the listings. It really makes for a nice diorama here with.
Yeah. And I try to make all of my accessories like holdable by a normal Mego hand.
Mm-hmm.
The picture you just had up there with Dracula, he doesn't have normal Mego hands. He has the monster hands. So I was able to, there's like a couple of details on the candelabra, on two of the, or all four of the arms actually, and they provide like a loop. And so his thumb and his forefinger are, it's sitting over those, and it fits pretty good. I mean, if you'd bump it, he'd probably drop it. But I think, there's not much you can do with those monster hands. It's because they're just all spread out like that. So, but he is able to hold it. So, and then a regular Mego figure is able to as well.
Now, who is your photographer here? Is it you? Is it what?
I did that.
Nice. Poor Curly.
Credit to the photographer for photography, and credit to the composer of the image. So, in case any of our viewers aren't recognizing the character holding the torch, JSpy, who have you repurposed or who have you employed here besides the Son of Frankenstein in the background?
That's Curly from the Three Stooges.
Curly's got a nice outfit on.
Yeah. For some of the shots, I just wanted normal people.
Uh-huh.
So, and I had the Three Stooges from Figures Toy Company.
Okay.
And they had suits on. So, everyone wore a suit back then, right? When
sure.
They're chasing around Frankenstein and stuff. So, that worked. Yeah, there's another one. The
nice. Monk. And the monk.
Yeah.
With the holy water and the Bible in hand. Yeah. And these are really great. These are really great. And especially the angles that you've created here. And these shots are nice in that you, again, as I mentioned, you can see the wood grain, you can see the detail in each one of these pieces, which is really nice.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I did the angle so you could see, the item a little better. This one you can still see it though.
Yep.
Maybe that angle was just I thought was cool. I don't know.
It's a good angle.
Yeah.
And in the current shot, look at all the things you're accomplishing. You got the wood grain off the side of the mallet, and then right there you're comparing the monster hands to the standard hands, whether you meant to do that or not. I was getting ready to hold up my Dracula and my Wolfman to show monster hands versus standard hands, but this is an excellent illustration of it already in the picture.
Yep.
And then if I can say something else, so JSpy, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you just set? Could we go back to the picture? Is it Peter Cushing versus Peter Cushing? Is that what you got going on?
That's Peter Cushing and
Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, well, and that was the conventional hammer matchup. So
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I was off on my guess there, but okay.
And in the comments, Casual Crafter as the accessories look great with the figures. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the accessories by themselves aren't impressive, right? These are cool, but when you're able to pair it with a diorama with your figures, it just pops all the better. And I missed another comment. Jim Campbell writes, "Whoa, Curly! I thought it was Pierce Morgan." Yeah, it kind of does look like him, actually. It kind of does.
Welcome to Campbell's Corner, where you get Campbell observations.
There you go. And walking the dog from TriStar Tree. These live streams are always a surprise on the time. Yes, thank you for being here, TriStar G. Yeah, shifting around the times a little bit, so appreciate you for making it out. All right, so this is one of the Mego horror custom sets that you have that are Mego compatible, and then there's another set that you have, which is this one.
Yeah. So you had shackles with the chain that padlocks to a plate, like a steel plate that you'd bolt into the floor or on a wall. And then the padlocks actually open and close. So like that, the wrist piece, you could remove that padlock and then remove the chain as well. And then the red book, that's like, it's got a V on the front. There's probably a better shot of that, but that's like vampire book. So like maybe Van Helsing would be studying that, or Mo. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the cross, and just a single candle for the people about to get murdered that can't afford a full candelabra. And then the cane, and the head of that cane or the whole cane is modeled after the Wolfman cane from the original Wolfman movie.
Oh, look at that! It's great.
Small, but the details there.
That is real nice. That is, I mean, for the scale of it, that is crazy to be able to have that etched in type of design to it. That's real nice. And as you said, you can see the padlocks open and closed in that version. There you get a better viewing of that plate that attaches to the floor. And here, just as we talked about with the stake and the hammer, here with the cross, you can see that little chip on it, but also the wood grain throughout the cross.
Right. Yeah, the notches, so the thumb can go around it and the hands can grab.
That is brilliant. That is a brilliant design touch.
You don't notice as much when somebody's holding it.
Well, I would say functional and authentic, and what I'm trying to say, so were it actual wood, right? Wood's, it's not like carved out, be it metal with or PVC, where you're going to cut it with the right kind of saw or equipment and get an exact clean cut. When it's wood of that era of Dracula, of Wolfman, you're going to have some jagged, rough cuts on the wood. So, man, I
I never thought of that, but yeah.
Well, that's why we got to have the community, right? For somebody
Yeah.
else to add on to the legend that's already in the works. JSpy's greatest hits album, the one song to the next song, figuratively, you're getting a lot of different style music on the greatest hits, but each one is just as good as the other one. So the functionality of the previously viewed on the previous episode of the Planet of the Apes, the caisson and the cannon, the functioning firing cannon, and now you have that super hyper detail on the head of the silver of the wolfsbane cane, and now you got the padlocks that open and close, that lock and unlock. I mean, the sky's the limit. This is quality stuff.
Thanks. I just, it's one of those things that I've, said stuff like that before, but, I was just kind of messing with them. Like, these should really open and close. So I tried it and it worked. So
Crafter adds, don't forget his Kolchak accessories as well. And,
absolutely.
And JSpy adds, yeah, great details for the scale.
Thanks.
Very nice, very nice. And let me put up some of your pictures. And again, the Three Stooges not faring so well in the in this universe, but does have again another handsome outfit with the cane, and Wolfman not having it right there. And kudos to you for the shading here. And you got Larry about to give himself a third-degree burn with the melting wax, if not assaulted by the Frankenstein there in the back.
Right, that third-degree burn will be the least of his worries after after Son of Frank gets a hold of him.
You gotta wonder, how was that? So how long were people just? Did they have really strong calluses on their hands? Yeah. How long is that going to work? You light it, and then what? If you stand still, it's going to melt and burn your hand.
I suppose you could tip it in a certain direction.
Maybe. Yeah. I get that requires more effort. Yeah, no wonder people didn't escape the monsters. Busy trying to manage the hot wax on my candle.
You always thought the mummy was moving slowly. He should have been the most evadable, but now we've gotten into the mindset of the prey, of the monsters. I mean,
I don't want to be eaten.
They're all worried about candle wax.
Yeah, candle wax. It's a genuine threat in Universal Monsters lore. And this, I think, is the wonderful, my favorite shot that you got of. I'm sorry, I've screwed up the order, but a little. No, I've got the order right. So here you can see you got a better viewing of the book, but then also, yeah, okay. So now that is brilliant with the notch, because you can see the thumb coming across.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And then right off to the side, right there's the cane hanging, and there's doesn't only have to be the Frankenstein chain. Could also be the chain holding the Wolfman, or the creature, or the Rocketeer, or Larry, or Mo. Is there a Shemp, or is the Shemp not produced?
There is a Shemp.
Okay, then the chain could be holding Shemp just as well as any other stooge in the house. And then, JSpy, let me ask you, so, but that rack that the other pieces are resting on, is that also one of your designs?
No, I made that just out of foam core.
Well, it's not one of your designs. You just made it out of foam core.
Oh no, well, it's not a 3D printed thing. I made it, but I made it out of foam core.
Very nice.
And then in the previous shot, the tree. I'm sorry, the tree. And you had the trees in the other shots as well. Could you tell us, how did you construct the tree?
Well, I found a video of somebody making these, and I think I improved upon it a little bit. I was using a toilet paper roll. I'm sorry, paper towel roll.
Okay. All right.
And and then you water down some glue, and then what I saw was like, they were using toilet paper to wet that and put it on the trunk and everything. But it's that stuff disintegrates like it should,
Right.
And a lot of times before you can put it on the tree, and it looks like slop if you're not real careful. So I started using tissue paper. So, and then put that through the glue, and then put it on the tree, and you just crinkle it a little bit, and it looks awesome, as far as like the bark. So it probably takes like a couple of days to dry, because it's totally wet when you're done. But then I spray painted it. I probably black for all the cracks and the dark, and then I probably put like three colors of paint on it, base, and then maybe some shadow, but then ended up with a lighter dry brush on it.
Nice. I am still trying to figure out this whole painting thing, which we talked about separately, not on a live stream of my. I'm trying to figure it out, but that's amazing that you turn a paper towel roll, tissue paper, glue and paint, and bada bing, you got a tree.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. And I think we got I uploaded one other shot from this diorama, and so here you can see the chains on Frankenstein, and that rendering as if it's attached to the floor or a rock or something else. So that's really nice. That's cool. And you've got the two versions where the lock is on, the lock is off.
Yeah, just to show that it can come off.
Right. Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
Not necessarily this second, but maybe in a little minute you could do a demo with us on how to do that, i.e. I have yet to figure out how to make that happen on the part that we just got. But let me ask you this. So this would, I don't know if I'm going to get
let's
closer
go to the one shot.
Was this a random piece, or was this the actual key for the lock, or this was just like scraps that ended up in the packet?
It looks like the head of the cane. No.
Well, it looks similar to the head of the cane, but so here's the cane with the head of it. So it is similar, but so JSpy, is this like the key for the lock, or it was just something different?
Yeah, just don't tell anybody about that. And I'm gonna need that back.
We'll delete this part out.
Oh man. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like I'm going to show up.
Ignore the past 2 minutes. All right.
We should have checked the box. We should have checked the box
Let's move on.
at the handoff.
I'm actually not sure.
All right. So Mr. C, do you have items to share of these accessories? You held up the Bible a little bit ago.
Yeah, let me come in and bring on what we usually call a fan cam, but for tonight it's definitely the spy cam. And again, my fault for not coming back in to double check on the photos, because within the photos I had it delineated which one was listed as set A and which one was listed as set B. Crafter or anybody else out there of our allies, if you're able to check against the eBay listing so we could accurately say which one's A and B. But so from the torch stick to this way is the one kit, and then from the from the silverhead cane to this way is the other one. And again, you already did such a great job on the close-ups, but so let me just randomly pick up the cross piece and
it disappeared for a moment there.
Oh boy.
But while you do that, so there's no, that's the wrong one. All right. So Mego Scale Monster Accessory A is the one with the candelabra and the torch and the Bible and other items. And it's B, that includes the Frankenstein related items, the cross, and other things. All right. So back to you, Mr. C.
So yeah, but you already did such a great job in your close-up work on the pictures. But again, look at all the detail on the A set and the B set here. So maybe now is a decent time. JSpy, can you try to educate me? So like, how does the lock work? How does it open? How does it close?
Sure. I have it here too, but if you just pull open the top of the padlock, the rounded part at the top, there you
Oh,
go.
look at that. If I would have
And
just
then
tried to actually pull it open, it would have opened. Man.
yeah, yeah. Imagine that, eh?
And so there it goes. And how easy it is. See, but again, I had the decoy. I thought that this was the key. And so I was trying to insert this other piece that I thought was the key into the lock. So this has been a good tutorial for me right
It's
here, right
it's
now.
a secret project, man. Stop bringing it up.
Oh,
Move
okay,
on.
so I want to let me slide the other pieces over here. So I wanted to do a little bit contrast here to the actual Mego shackles that come with the Frankenstein. So roughly the same size, a little bit different color, a little bit different thickness. But even I'm not trying to slight Mego, of course, but I hopefully
It's
it's
a little
coming out
close.
kind of
There you go.
blurry.
There you
But
go.
okay, so but on the JSpy produced item, again, you have more detail and more lines, more uh, scarring, if you will, that would have been in the metal product here. But Mego itself, it's just it's still pretty cool that they have the little bolts connecting the one side of the shackle to the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But so JSpy's degree of detail has exceeded that which is done by Mego Corporation itself.
That was not my goal, but thanks.
Right. We're not don't come to us, Mego. We're just trying to highlight independent artists over here.
That's right. That's right. And so thank you, Crafter. Yeah. So as he posted, Mego scale, monster accessory A, candelabra, holy water, stake with mallet, the Bible, and the torch, and Mego scale, monster accessory B, the shackles, the candle, the cross, the vampire book, and the wolf head cane. And there you go.
Crafter coming through. Thank you so much, Crafter. So JSpy, for connecting the flame to the post here, what was your if it's not trade secrets? If they're trade secrets, then just call it out and we won't give away your intellectual properties out here in the public. But if it's not trade secrets, how did you do it? And if it is trade secrets, I'll just say it was very impressive. Like it's not pulling apart here. This is
Yeah.
a solid piece of work.
Well, I like to call it super glue. But there is a little notch, a little bump on the top of the torch, the wood part, and then that fits into the bottom of the flame. So that helps it hold it in place as well. And then I just usually use super glue for if I have to attach something.
Well,
There
this
you
is
go.
all kinds of educational, but again, I hope the details are. It's a little bit blurry, but let me assure you, good people here. Like it showed better in the still photos, but like we have wood influence, like actual wood. What we were seeing earlier, that the table JSpy is using, or the stand JSpy is using within its place. So let me ask you, JSpy, are you sitting down there and you see the wood grain in your own house, and that guides your process to achieving the quality wood grain in your 3D printings, or is it just coincidence?
Well, I think that's a good question. I think it just came from I used to draw a lot, and it's kind of how I would make the wood grain is the individual lines and the knots, on the piece of wood. And so that I think that just kind of transferred over to the 3D. Like, oh, how would I make wood? Okay, I did what I had been doing by drawing it, and except in 3D form, and it seemed to look okay. So I
It
just
looks
kept going
great.
with that.
It looks great.
Saying okay is you being humble, of course, but let me also then take a compare and contrast
Oh,
here.
okay.
Maybe
We'll
my
go to the
lighting
one
isn't the
shot.
best for this. There you go. Thing. So right here's a Mego issue book. that came with a character. And again, it looks really nice, and there is some degree of
Looks-
detail on it.
Yep.
But the when you get to the side binding, again, then JSpy
Yeah.
has the image of the cross to be consistent with the Bible. And again, no slight on Mego. I'm just really impressed with how JSpy packs in so much detail. As Chai Star said earlier in his comment, especially for this scale, it's quite the impressive feat.
Very nice, very nice. And there was something that if you could hold up the torch that I didn't notice before. The picture that I uploaded was a little too focused on the flame portion, but you can see that notch on the right there, right there. And so that's the similar approach, similar tactic to what you've got on the cross.
Yeah,
That's,
right.
that's cool.
And a lot of the items have that. The single candle does.
Mm-hmm.
The stake does. The mallet does. The books do.
There you go. You can see, yeah, Mr. C, you've got it in person, so you can see the nuance or the distinctions here. But now, looking closer at the pictures that you've got, I can see very faintly the notch that's there.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll say on the single candle and the stake, so the candle, maybe Dracula's using it to creep around his castle, and maybe Van Helsing is using the stake to drive it into Dracula's heart. So similar piece, similar notch, different purpose. But so those two notches look pretty similar. The cross also, it looks similar. But yeah, so on the cross it looks similar from the one angle, but then on the other side, as we saw in the it had some like wood damage or wear and tear with it also. So again, maybe that's a trademark move, if you will, or a consistent application of JSpy's process to include the notch. Same way that he's figuring out how to make cannons fire. He's figuring out how to make pieces holdable by the figures. And I mean, this is another nuanced piece, but so the Stooges, in some ways, Figures Toy Company is in essence the same as Mego. In other ways, there's subtle differences between them, but clearly a Mego figure or a Figures Toy Company figure, either one of the companies, the hands are similar enough to hold JSpy's product.
Right. Yep.
That would make for a longer title of custom Mego / Figures Toy Company. It's not wrong. It's just a longer YouTube title.
The books have the notches too, like on the back.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one.
How about that?
I just want to make sure that the figures are able to use it. Otherwise, you can set it on the floor, but it's better if they can actually hold them.
Sure.
Right. And again, if you're a photographer or looking to do diorama work, and you want the figure to have the prop.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great call out. That's a great call out. I would not have otherwise known to ask. So that's a great call out. Hey, so okay. So Mr. C is already prepping us for the next item. So the next item here is the table. So talk with us about this really massive piece.
This is my very first item that I put out on eBay, and it came about because I wanted to make a Frankenstein table, an exam table, and I was messing around with like popsicle sticks and that type of thing, just kind of really homemade. And then I'm like, well, I want it to swivel, so how am I going to do that? Because that has to be like perfectly semicircle. And then I'm like, well, I could make that on the 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I'm like, well, I could make this whole thing on the 3D printer. So I did, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Um, and then I made, I think, like 5 of them or something like that. And then like somebody bought one. I'm like, holy cow, somebody bought my table. So that was pretty cool. And then I've just been making them. I try not to get the inventory down too much. So I'll print off more. So, um, but for like the design of this, I didn't look like some things I'll look at the movies and get some inspiration stuff, but I've seen those movies, quite a few times, but I just wanted to do it like kind of by memory, but put my own look into it, I guess. Like, how would you build it if you had wood and some steel plates?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the design mainly came from my head. I know, and I knew like in the movies, they had the tilt up table and stuff, so I wanted to put that in there. So that's kind of how that came about. And then the wooden pillow and the footrest, for when he tips up, so they don't slide off.
The inconveniences here. You've got candles that are going to burn your hand while you're trying to scrape, and Frankenstein doesn't even get a decent pillow. I mean, come on.
No wonder why he was grumpy.
Yes, who wouldn't be? It was if only he had a decent pillow from the store, then maybe he would have been a better guy. Yeah, this is amazing. This angle shot, the how it works so nicely here is really amazing. And
so then,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right, so Crafter, the spacing of the
JSpy.
Man, thanks. Okay. All right, JSpy. The spacing of the holes on the metal semicircle bars there. So how did you choose the placement exactly? Was it you wanted to have the table at certain different placements or different angles when it was in rest, or how did you choose the spots in which to have the metal connect with its brace or the peg connect with the port?
Yeah, I think I started out with a different pattern, and I ended up on this one just like, I'm just kind of thinking like, well, what if they wanted to do this or that? It would just be slightly inclined, and it's like if somebody was laying on it and they wanted to watch TV, maybe you'd put it up just a little bit, not all the way up, so it'd be easier to see. I don't know. Just different angles, and then I think mainly people just have it either flat or they have it up. I'm guessing they probably don't even use those other notches, but it looks cool too, though, and it's it's there in case you want it.
Yeah, I mean this position is really nice. I think. Oh, and Mr. C, you've got the actual item right there. So let's go to the one shot.
Right. And what I'm trying to get with this pin to show another impressive feature of what JSpy has done. If we come back around this way, there you can see the light coming through. So as though it were actual wood, again, replicating a different material than the construction material. So yeah, wood's going to have some thin spots in it, some wear and tear, specifically circa Baron von Frankenstein era back in the time. So again, it doesn't, I guarantee whoever's watching or a potential buyer of the item, it doesn't make it at all flimsy in any kind of way. This remains a completely solid piece, yet just the artisanship for JSpy to land those two spots in the table where light's shining through.
Nice. Yeah,
totally
and if you could stay there, you could really see the wood grain in a much more detailed way than in some of the shots that we uploaded. You can really see the notches as it were in the wood. That's cool.
Yeah, just like 4 different planks make up the table.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and it's kind of true to what you're saying of the origin story of the popsicle stick kind of thinking of there, but you've got it fully. I'll go back to the one shot here. Here you can see the planks. The Oh, here we go.
And then look how easy it is to actually there in one.
That's cool.
I can't even a goon like me who's looking at a lock with a key, which isn't a real piece. Even I can't mess this up. It was just the leather strap. It fits in so quickly and easily. Of course, in different Universal movies, they ran different variations of the table. But yeah, certain times Lon Chaney's trying to get himself confined, or if I can jump out of the vintage movies to the Benicio del Toro, the Wolfman picture, for sure he got restrained in the asylum in a chair and in various devices. So again, obviously Frankenstein or the Bride of Frankenstein can go into the table, but come Creature of the Black Lagoon, the third installment, the creature was all they were trying to make him a land-based guy instead of, and so he also got confined to an operating table. So the table works with any of the Mego characters, and again, whether you're just taking pictures or it's just for your own purposes, it's a really great piece.
That's cool. That's cool. And there's a comment in the or question in the chat from TriStar G. Do you sketch out your designs before you make them? Would be cool to see your visual mechanical thinking process. So there must be an iterative design approach or something. What's the development process to get to this?
Yeah, well, if it's something like this where I'm just pretty much making it up as I go, or it's coming from my imagination, then I'll definitely do sketches. I'll do sketches of everything pretty much. But this, I didn't look at reference material. I guess that's the difference there. Yeah, I'll sketch it out and then I'll measure like a Mego figure, and see how much longer that would be, or what the the wood pillow, how tall the head is and such. So the head can rest on there, and then just kind of sketch out, like, not necessarily for measurements or anything, but just sketch out the whole thing and how it would work and how it would look. It might, a lot of times it's weird because it's just on a scratch piece of paper. A lot of times whatever's just laying around. So yeah, I don't know. I wish I had like that sketch. That'd be interesting.
Oh, and a question from Casual Crafter: will you be bringing back your other Monster Lab pieces? Your Transformer coil and control box were great looking pieces. Wow, what a convenient question, actually. hey, JSpy, will you be bringing back?
Let me turn off the spot cam at that point in time, make more room in the screen, and let's go one shot. Wow.
That's
nice. Wow. That's.
You mean that one, Crafter? that what you're talking about? Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so the lights are in each of the independent pieces, and is the electrical wire also illuminated somehow?
Well, this one is individually lit, and
Okay.
then there's a switch on the back.
Okay. Wow.
And this has just pretty much a moving arm. The dial can move, kind of an accessory piece. And then the coil here, you can see this here too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
This is electroluminescent wire.
Ah,
So it's really thin and it's very flexible. So I have it running up this, and actually you can, the whole thing lights up.
Oh,
mm,
And then I have it coming over to the main unit, and then it goes through the top here for the lightning on the top,
that's crazy.
and then that actually flashes.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and then it flashes faster.
Oh, now it's just like a, oh, yep, lit for real, for real. Now this is just like an encore piece. This is like a, I've heard Eddie Van Halen referred to as a virtuoso of guitar, and this is clearly some virtuoso level work that you got
That's
here.
crazy. That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
then the main piece, like all these levers move across the front here. This one comes down, up. These switches move. There's one down here, and this goes back and forth.
That's amazing. You know,
And then, oh, go ahead.
something that well, Mr. C, when when I gave you that set for with the what is it, the Birds of Prey Gotham Tower, the problem that I had with lighting was that the light would shine through in ways that I didn't want it to have. So this kind of work to just not have it illuminate the whole parts that you don't want to light up, where it's selective on each one of those dials. That's kind of hard to do, or at least I can't figure out how to do it. So that's really nice all the way around.
Are you talking about coming through like the opaque part?
Right, yes, where it just sort of leaks through the part the opaque parts, and instead you've got it where it's nice and crisp.
Yeah, I think that's mainly because of the thickness of
Mm,
these pieces.
nice.
If I had a light really close to it, I think you'd probably start to see some.
Okay. Well, from this distance, it looks perfect, and I think that piece that you've got right there, the coils, where you can see the this yeah there the vent work or whatever we would call that. That's really brilliant. That's nice. Yeah,
You know,
that's cool.
if Mego or if any customizers out there ever make a Nikola Tesla Mego sized guy, there's the just repurpose that into the Tesla coil, and it's good to go. JSpy, granted you don't have the lazy Susan style disc around, but could you do just a slow spin on each
Oh,
piece so people can see the side and the
sure.
back as well?
Yeah.
Ah,
They are complete on the back. I mean, except the switches
right.
are all in the back.
Right. Again, a little bit of the JSpy style appreciation moment. Other customizers could have cheated with aspects, right? But instead, here you've got a complete back where it works. It works. Um, if you were to have it somehow facing that way, it still works. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I put vents and
Oh,
panels. I
yeah.
don't know if you can, let me turn up the light a
Yep.
little bit.
No, you can see it. You can
Oh,
see
okay.
it. Yeah, you can see it nicely, and yeah, and you can see there's some panel work as well as the vents, as you said. That's that's nice. Yeah, I imagine that these Monster Lab devices did require considerable ventilation. I know my computer gets hot, So what can and it has a fan that doesn't seem to work all that great. So here having more ventilation. It's a practical thing for Frankenstein, the doctor.
Let this man, this spy, low key in the foreground, the background, without saying a thing, is also highlighting that fine wood grain of his in-house bar right there. And man, this is stacks on stacks on stacks of amazing style in the house of the JSpy.
I think with the piece here, well, it's obviously well suited for the with being paired with the Frankenstein exam table. So this works well. But for those pieces, you could use it for other dioramas as well, right? You could use it for perhaps aliens type of setup, or some other kind of maybe a Batman, kind of villain setup of some kind. There's multiple uses for that piece, not just Frankenstein. So that's nice that it's extendable for other purposes. Yeah. Okay.
I would say Planet of the Apes also,
Oh
in
yeah.
addition to superhero setups. I would say, Star Trek, they'd been in different civilizations, different planets, different time periods. So it's not futuristic as is the majority of the Star Trek line, but could still
it still works.
contrive a plot line where it's functional within that realm also.
Natalie and Tootie want
I
to
was just about to not do that. I was just about to not.
some kind of special facts of life episode. The choices are endless.
Detention off camera was really tough in that learning institution. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So just you had the comment up from Jim Campbell. As I get older, I really appreciate how the tiny details really go a long way. And so that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Thanks, Jim.
So with these, how are we on time? Okay, so we should wrap up. So with the items that you have listed, so that on eBay at the moment, folks can go to JSpy25 and check out the listings there. And I think I've got them in reverse order. Do I? Yeah, okay. No, I had it roughly close. So the first set again is the accessory set A with the candelabra, the torch, and you can see the rest. With accessory set B, it has the shackles, the plate, and the book, and other items, and then the Frankenstein laboratory exam table that is adjustable. That is its own separate listing. For the laboratory set that you had posted there, when might eager folks like Casual Crafter be able to take advantage of it?
I wanted it done by, it should have been out there 2 weeks ago.
But life
I'm
happens.
hoping, I got 9 of them that I'm working on. And then the only difference would be like this one has a purple light, that EL wire. So the lightning and that transformer. So I used a purple one for this, but those colors will all be different.
Okay.
So you can select whichever colors. I mean, but there's only gonna be one of each. I hope to have. I mean, I better have them up in 2 weeks, or I'm gonna be mad at myself because. But
you
I think
get an assembly. You got to get an understudy and assistant, and I don't know if either of us is the right person for that because we don't have your skill set. But man, JSpy, I'm ready to return to the Mars Cheese Castle. Or I'm ready to return. I'm ready to forage into Culver's or the Milwaukee Pretzel Company or whatever the point may be. But I'm gonna, as Crafter preceded me in having your set in his inventory, I am also so going to need that, after the assembly process is in the works. I know we are trying to wrap up within the next couple. So I would have just one exit question, which I thought G is going to have a standard exit question. But before we get to that point,
Yep.
G, the black and white Wolfman on the table.
Oh,
shot,
yes.
G, are you able to
Let's
access
let me. Yes.
I
Sorry
really
for.
like that picture. Yeah.
Okay, so again, if somebody's playing around with the filters and the imagery, again, there's a lot of different things you can do. But so here's my exit question, because
And Mr.
again,
C took that picture, by the way.
Oh,
You
Say
took that
again?
picture. Mr. C took the picture.
Okay, yeah. So that
Yeah.
I took this picture and I sent it to JSpy, and then that's what I'm saying. This man's knowledge base is so long and wide and deep and vast. So now I'm gonna mess it up. So there's two Mego Wolfmen, as we've shown here before. There's blue
Okay.
shirt and red shirt.
You've
And
done this
I
before.
as I see it now, but let me. So JSpy, I used Blue Wolfman. I used Blue Wolfman
my
for that
goodness.
picture, and you identified him instantly. So even in black and white, you knew it was Blue Shirt Wolfman. How did you know that? How did you do it? Your knowledge is limitless.
Okay, so I'll tell you what kind of tipped it off, and then I'll tell you for sure how I knew. I think the blue shirt is more checkered. Yeah, like that. And then the red one is more like a flannel. I mean, they're both kind of flannel, but yeah, the pattern on the shirt. Because the head sculpt is the same. But then what really confirmed that for me was the shot that you sent me was it had all the filters on the bottom. And one on the left was like a color filter, and it showed the blue shirt.
Part-time spy, part-time detective, or counter spy. JSpy delivers.
That is all the spy in the JSpy. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then just on the comments here, okay, Jim Campbell writes, "Love the blue light." Junkyard writes, "Also definitely amazing work with the light, all the lighting, JSpy." And yeah, Casual Crafter just chomping at the bit here. So there is purple. There is purple lighting available now. If so, can crafters upgrade their old set?
I would suggest hitting up Mr. C for some filters on your camera. Maybe you could get some purple in there.
Man. Oh, man. They're in the phone. That's all. The filters are in the phone. I did nothing special on that.
And I had this comment earlier. This is art. Awesome.
Thanks,
and
Jim.
So again, for if you're looking for that set, or excuse me, if you're looking for any of these sets, 3 of the 4 are available now on the JSpy 25 store on eBay. And then if you are looking for the lab set, just keep on hitting F5 refresh on your eBay page. Just waiting for it to show up. But maybe there's a...
Yeah, I don't think I'd look before next weekend, really. But within 2 weeks, I really hope to have all 9 of them available.
Awesome. And actually that reminds me, a good way for folks to stay connected with JSpy, other than the times he is here, you have a Facebook group, right?
Yeah, it's JSpy 25 on Facebook, obviously. And I made it a private group because some people don't want their nerd out there. And then I pretty much made it because a lot of people were asking what was coming up next, and when this would be available or whatever. And so that was all messaging through eBay, which is difficult to do, any kind of grouping or messaging. So I made the group, and I let people know, and then if they join the group, then I'll put postings out there on anything new that's coming up, and little glimpses of what I'm working on.
That should be incentive enough. So if you are interested in what JSpy is up to, you have a couple of options. One, you could pull up the eBay listing and hit refresh all day, all night. Or
All day, all
two,
day.
you could go to the Facebook group, join the private group that JSpy has, and stay on top of it all. That seems like a good, efficient way to
Right.
stay connected with the JSpy.
The other option, which is a completely non-viable option, is meet up JSpy and me at the Mars Cheese Castle. But we might not be there.
Well, see, so I did get the so I'm going to do it virtually here. That's there you go. See, I didn't understand. How did you get it where the Mars Cheese Castle words are backwards? Is it like the upside down or something that you were all in? How does that even happen?
I did it like a selfie. Well, it is a selfie, so I didn't just do it like a selfie. It is a selfie, so I reversed the image to the. Maybe I had to adjust for mirror versus non-mirror, but a future endeavor. Let's see if I can correctly have the lettering Mars Cheese Castle in a non-reversed way, or maybe it's just my tribute to MIB, because when MIB is on, the letters of MIB are backwards in the image as well.
Yeah, and so if you haven't seen the MIB live stream, we did that last week, and we'll have a link somewhere for that.
Yeah. He did have his camera reversed, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah.
Did he?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's my MIB tribute.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So
It was all intentional.
I said that was my last question, so I don't want to cheat against that. But just are there any other semi-partial announcements or anything else that, as people are F5ing and refreshing, anything on the horizon, or do we want to leave that be for another time and another day?
Well, I can say because I posted this on the group already. I am working on the Planet of the Apes Alpha Omega bomb, Mego scale actually. So the whole bomb will be like 40 inches tall. That might be a little excessive for some people. So when that's all finalized, I plan on shrinking it down as well. So a smaller version will be available. But then also the bomb will have the mutant control panel that lights up. So
that'll be nice.
Stay tuned to JSpy, everybody. Stay tuned to JSpy.
Yeah, there's some other things too I'm working on, but
those are secrets. Those are secrets.
Kevin Feige, we're not dropping announcements until it's the right moment.
Well, that is awesome. So with these sets, they are limited quantities. So these are things where you don't want to wait. You want to go to the eBay store and take advantage of them as quickly as you can, especially